And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
Extra point try, good by Gano. And the lead will swell by one more. So that one officially goes down to the books as a return for a touchdown on the kickoff of 103 yards. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that. I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Throwing is Wentz. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey. They've really been able to contain Alshon Jeffrey. That catch a rare exception in this game. And that's a feather in their cap because he's such a tone setter for his team on offense that they try and get him the ball early. And, of course, what comes after that is often. And for them to limit him and him not catch a ball until the second half, it's a big reason why his team is behind on the scoreboard. And he's taken down inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going. I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half. Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well. Here's Ajayi, down right around the 25. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now. Wentz now to throw. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right? Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task. Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott from the right hash. This from 45 yards away. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. Well, that field goal block
pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. Here's Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it a second down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
On second down, Anderson. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Oh, man. 4th down and 1, and you're on your own side of midfield? That takes a little bit of courage to pull off, but they went ahead and snapped it, and it'll work out for them as they get the first down.
Now it's Newton. He's going to go deep. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. A fantastic connection that time. Newton to Funchess. 42 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you want two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. C.J. Anderson, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Panthers have got it on cruise control. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Gano out to kick this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Thomas Davis in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Now it's Ajayi, and he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. They're back now to the original line of scrimmage thanks to that 8-yard gain. 3rd down now to follow.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So 2 missed field goals for him now, and that's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
CJ with a nifty move. C.J. Anderson. Touchdown, Carolina. C.J. Anderson with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Panthers just continue to pour it on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back.
Back now here on EA Sports, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Gano out to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. And these numbers showing up on the screen, that's why he's their star. They kept him down for a little bit, couldn't keep him down for a full 4 quarters.
But what they were hoping for was a half of a game. And if they could have shut it down at the half, they had done their job. But as you mentioned, a full 4 quarters, and the best, they always feel like they're 1 run away from changing the momentum or breaking something big, and we're starting to see that here in the second half.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That one goes for 24 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on first. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
This is Ajayi. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Tackle made by Thomas Davis.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz from 13 yards out. And the Eagles are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no zero. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
12 yards there as they move the chains.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football?
They run again on first down. Anderson. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Nigel Bradham brings him down. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And a nice carry there of 15 yards. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
He's going to go deep for fun. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Gano now to add the extra point. Gano the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And Carolina scores to cap it off. Gano out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Sproles. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 22.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throwing now is Wentz. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
Because you're right, they have had no room to breathe. And incomplete here on 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. They run it again with Anderson. Able to slither by. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Newton's going to throw it. Looking deep downfield. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
That's caught inside the 20. A fantastic connection that time. Newton to Funchess. And what are the whistles for? A timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the red zone now, Newton. And that one falls incomplete. Try to dump it underneath. Now 2nd down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton. That's complete right around the 8. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. That's it. It's all over. And the Carolina Panthers are your Super Bowl champions. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports. "50 years after Joe Namath and the guarantee, we are underway in Super Bowl 53. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for second down.
Well, anytime it's a toss or a pitch play, it's a battle for the edges. Who's going to control the edge of the line of scrimmage? In other words, can the defensive guys hold their leverage? What we were always taught was keep your outside arm or outside shoulder free if you were playing on the play side, meaning the ball coming towards you. And anyone coming from the backside, they're pinching down and sliding down towards it to try and keep people kind of locked into one spot. And, boy, what a great defensive play there. Weren't out leverage, running to the football from the inside out, turned into a big loss of yardage.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And this may be a big early turning point in this Super Bowl. They're going to go for it on 4th down here. They'll run for it. Anderson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
What kind of game are we going to have in store for us? I understand the call here if it's the final 2 minutes and you're losing. But this is the opening drive of the game. That is too big a chance for my blood. But give them credit. They got it to pay off.
Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed him. So now he brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
And he won't get to the marker as they're going to stop it for a 2nd straight play right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They are going to go for it. It's Newton. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. So that is twice on the opening drive that they've gone for it on fourth down, and they've converted both.
I don't know if they're using analytics, which might tell them, hey, more times you go for it on fourth down, the better your odds, the better your chances of success.
And this is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Panthers are going to take a first quarter lead. And on the grandest of stages, with the whole world watching the Super Bowl, they come out and get the first points.
I don't know how you feel about it, Brandon, but for me, watching the beginning of the Super Bowl, I've often wondered how come it's not just a fumble fest? How come the ball's not all over the place? The nerves, the interim in between of the 2 weeks waiting for the game. But this team came out and handled it just like it was a regular season walk in the park. Terrific start.
Gano out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now a play fake. Wentz. And incomplete to open things up. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Wentz. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now a run with Anderson. And now running right through him. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They pitch it out to Anderson. CJ with a nifty move. C.J. Anderson. Touchdown, Carolina. C.J. Anderson, 67 yards. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Ron Rivera didn't get the nickname Riverboat Ron for nothing. His guys are going to go for 2 here.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Now Newton will bring the Panthers up to go for 2. And they'll still try and run for it. And he is in to make it 16-0. So 2 successful two-point tries now for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or two-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
Gano out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it? It
certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They start the drive with Anderson. Oh, he shifts past him. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Now they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
They'll try the air now with Newton. He's going to go deep for Funchess. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
And that's going to be caught by Funchess for a Carolina touchdown. Cam Newton now with 2 first-quarter touchdown passes. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. Cam Newton now getting his guys ready to go for the 2-point try. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Gano out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Luke Kuechly with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. McCaffrey with a first down and more. He's still on his feet. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Pitching it out to McCaffrey. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there. 26 yards. And the Panthers have got it on cruise control. Ron Rivera didn't get the nickname Riverboat Ron for nothing. His guys are going to go for 2 here.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Gano out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me. Right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And he connects with Ertz. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They go play action here on first down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now Wentz, caught by the tight end Ertz. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game, because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A good game. Of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football, and we just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
To throw is Wentz. That is caught inside the 5. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 4 catches now on this drive alone. They can't stop him. It's another first down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Darren Sproles taking it in from a yard out. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have... Oh, this is blocked. And all the defense has it. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now? Much more of a field goal attempt, and the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
they can get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
Time for us to spotlight C.J. Anderson. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. Toss play. This is Anderson. He can't get him down. A second broken tackle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Now a run with McCaffrey.
Whoosh.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. His second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Panthers just continue to pour it on. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. Ron Rivera didn't get the nickname Riverboat Ron for nothing. His guys are going to go for 2 here. Here's a toss coming right. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll begin the drive with a Space to maneuver at the 40, and he'll take it to the 43-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Wentz now on first down. It's caught by Aguilar. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. And that is incomplete.
I have to say that was a surprise call on 3rd and inches. I thought they'd try and run the football there, but you got to believe they thought they'd surprise the defense and pick up something downfield, but that one goes incomplete.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And it's actually been out of the backfield, handing the ball off where they've had a lot of success. So if you're the quarterback, do you just maybe say, you know, maybe this isn't my day, our running game's going so well, you just continue to lean on that?
I agree. That's exactly what you do. And you have to kind of take your ego and put it aside, because you always think your next throw is going to be your best throw, right? Your next play is going to be your best play. Lean on what's working for you right now. That should help carry your team to victory if things keep going in the direction that they are.
Yeah, because the formula has them the lead currently. Off the bootleg, Newton. Funches with a catch over the middle. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
Now Newton. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. Only 3 there on the screen at second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to Go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
On second down, here's Newton. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. It's caught at the 10. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Cam Newton with his third touchdown pass of this first half. And the Panthers